Broadcast 0720. Powered by Lions, Empire Media, and Heaven Music.
Welcome to Broadcast 0720, our very first episode. I have with me in studio today a very honored guest, Mr. Mabasa, or rather, Comrade Mabasa. Welcome. You've been known to be very vocal and active, involved in the community, but there are still many people who maybe have not heard of you or don't know you, or maybe have heard of you but haven't had the chance to get to know you or see you personally. So for those people, maybe just to introduce who Comrade Mabasa is.
Yeah, thank you very much, Kongi, and allow me to appreciate you for the invitation. It's an honor for me to be invited here. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Walter Bongani Mabasa, popular known as a Comrade. If you trace me by this name, it might be very difficult for you to get me. But if you can go across the region, across the province, to say Comrade Mabasa, yeah, then it will be very easy for you to locate me.
And so then, how do you get into politics? When does it start? When does that passion, or what happens that makes you want to go into politics? Well, what inspired you to go into politics?
I don't really know the real force that pushed me to join the politics. But as far as I remember, my activism started at a very early age. My activism started at a very early age because I was a young person who played with other kids. I found myself in the position of leadership sometimes. You know, the leadership thing started at the early age. I remember at some point I happened to be the prefect, but by then I remember that when I became the prefect from grade 1, it was because I was very much good. Academically, I think I was performing very good. By the virtue of being in the top 10, of course leading, sometimes finding myself at the position 1. My teacher of that time believed that I can be a very good example. My leadership journey begins from that moment. And when I began to love the people that I'm living with, to love myself, to respect other people. I think I also learned how the system of the country runs at the early age. Then I become vocal, but unaware that there is something in me. I think that's how my journey started, to a level where I found myself leading so many structures in the country. Yes.
Well, as far as your humility, I can attest to that myself, because when we were talking, you were very humble, very quick to respond, very eager to help us out to develop what is this thing that we are trying to put out here. Now you are a PR counsellor with the Makado municipality.
Yes.
I've never heard of such a term. How do you become a PR counsellor? Actually, what is a PR counsellor? What do they do? What is your responsibility in office?
Yeah, it's important that I must touch this. Of course, I'm a PR counsel, and many people might want to understand what is a PR counsel. They know counsel, but with this other P and R, obviously one would want clarity on that part. It's important to inform almost all of us, all of you are not informed about the term. PR means it's a proportional representative council. I am a councillor, of course, from the Makado local municipality. I'm part of the combination of ward councillors and PR councillors makes the whole council of the municipality. But it's also important that we need to educate our people to understand how the system of these councillors run. You will find that in the municipality there is a PMT, which is a political management team. It's a combination of the chief whip, the speaker, and the mayor. And you will find the ESCO, which is an executive within the municipality of the councillors. And then there is ourselves, who are a proportional representative council. You will also find the category of ward councillors. In our sub-region, here at Makhado, we've got 38 wards. So
38
wards, meaning out of all these wards, every single ward must, or each ward must have its council, a ward council. So there are councillors, there are PR councillors, and the executive. So that's how the system of local government is structured. And I found myself there. On the question of how did I find myself there? I was nominated and elected by people. Yeah.
People in community.
People in different wards.
Wards.
Yes, I happened to be fortunate.
So it's an internal election, sort of.
We have got branches of the African National Congress across almost everywhere.
Yes.
So what is happening is that during the election, when we are voting for local government, there are so many political parties that will be parading and campaigning for leadership.
Mm-hmm.
So I happened to, there are a list of candidates that are, you'll see, there are a list of candidates of people who are available to lead in different positions, and that list is facilitated by IEC. So during the election, when all of us voting, it's not by miracle that I'm a PR councillor or by prayer. No, it is by people. That's why I respect people a lot.
Yes.
So I happen to find myself being one of the people who got more votes to an extent that out of unlimited number of people that was there, I happen to be number 7 on the list.
How big a number are we speaking? Is it hundreds?
Maybe thousands.
Thousands.
Yeah, but I happen to find myself being number 7 in Makhado. And then that's how I find myself being part of the collective. Of course, there are many PR councillors, and I was number 7 on the ANC list. That's why it becomes so easy, because remember, the African National got the majority of votes in this district, in this municipality. That's the ticket I used on the bus. I drove from where I was to the council.
What do you think is that made people want to vote for you? What made you be that number 7? What makes you so outstanding from?
No, I never saw it coming. I never saw it coming that I would be number 7. But I believe that people need a respectful leader, a humble leader, and someone who stand or who represent the truth. And I believe that it's a combination of the favor of God and the respect that I've shown to the constituency of this area of Makhado. That's where I believe that maybe these people believe that they must support me to build their own leader. Remember, it is the society that decides on who must lead them. Especially under the democracy, under the government of democracy, unlike in the state of dictatorship, you can just wake up and say I'm a leader today. But in this case, I was favored I got favor from God, and I got support from the people.
Now, behind all of that, beneath all of that, all of the elections, politics and everything, when we think of a municipality, we think of service delivery. The purpose of the municipality is to deliver a service that is very important to the people who have elected that municipality to lead them, to serve them. How do you go about delivering service to people or to communities, to townships, to rural areas? How do you go about that? Is there a plan in place for that? Do you implement your own plan? Do you get it from the upper levels, or are you all just the municipality? You are the ones who are responsible for rolling out this service.
Yeah, Kong, the primary role of the municipality is to provide service to its people. I just mentioned a few seconds ago here to say we've got 38 wards. 38 wards, meaning I don't know how many communities do we have under those 38 wards, and how many chiefs. But I can just give you an example to say we've got an area called Hlanganani. With its Hlanganani comes with Chitale. There are so many wards here under this Chitale. In our area here, I think there are plus minus 13 wards here in this area of Hlanganani, Ilim. Counting from 15, you go Valdesia, you find there's a ward there, you go Waterfall, it's 16, you go to up to Chitare, that other side.
Each having its own council.
Yes, there are councillors out of all these places. Then we've got four district or sub district, which is Hlanganani. You will find that there is Zut, Pansberg, there is Zanani. We also have Luvubu site, where this other area of Chakuma, Mocha, and other portions that was called under our own municipality. So the municipality of Makado has got a role to provide service delivery out of all these institutions. Remember, the money that we are expected as councillors to provide service to you, it's not money from my pocket or any individual pocket, it's your money. Many people, they don't understand how government budget is money. You know, all of us here, we've got money into that municipality, all of us. Because when government or when the treasury deals with the budget, it's a budget per person. But some of the people who are failing government when it comes to the issues of budget, when you see this in other municipalities, the budget is high, and other municipalities, the budget is low. It's because young people, especially young people, because we don't take this thing of voting serious and registering serious. You find that the majority of young people are not registered with IEC. So when you are not registered with IEC, sometimes it becomes difficult for a government, when the government collects its data, to say at Makado, we have got maybe 1.4 million people or 500,000 people guided by the IEC, because that part is a part of, I'm speaking about the local government now. You find that the number that they are counting does not match or does not align with the budget that we are getting from the treasury. That's why I encourage a lot of, whenever I go around, I encourage people to go and register. Not to vote for the ANC or to vote for which party. Remember, the issue of voting for the party, it's your decision, it's a personal decision, because when I grew up, I was told that a vote is a secret. I'm not so sure if mine is a secret. Mine is no longer a secret now, because I am an ANC person. And I only vote for the African National Congress, ANC only. And I'm sorry to bring this of politics, because we are not speaking about political parties. I'm just giving a scenario.
I understand.
Yeah, so the role of the municipality is to provide service delivery to its people.
Yeah.
You see, our roads are expected to be clean. People must have electricity in their house. We are expected to have running water, a clean and drinkable water in our own space. It is the role of the municipality, and also to deal with the issue of waste. We are not expected to live in a dirty community, but you are not also going to mashika or to tanganana. These ones that signs as soon as we are failing as the municipality. Our road must be clean. Also wana kolomozo wala madindini, vana wala madindini, osina peto nokuno chimbelea rapunga zoluga zoraro. It is the responsibility of councillors working together with the municipality. And lastly, rena IDP within the municipality. An IDP document ndio nene abayojenza the activities zote zine muso ati uzu budgetera zine zote wasquiti uchifuko pato mabi uko jaratelo mabi da uko kuruwa zibalo kuitwa. All those things must form part of the IDP plan. Ndio nene aba a guiding tool or a guiding document in our true circle champion and provide a service delivery to our people.
So you've mentioned all these things. You've mentioned the responsibility of the municipality to provide these services, but you go around most communities, you find that these services are maybe at the the bare minimum sometimes is not met. You mentioned that as youth, particularly youth, we don't register to vote. Would you say that's one of the reasons why we are not at that level of service delivery? When we mentioned the budget, that when they prepare the budget and they see the number of people who have registered to vote in this area, it is not consistent with the money that they've allocated to this place. Does that play a role, us not voting, us meaning the youth, or just people in general?
There's a need for voter education to our people. Because you see, there are people who believe that when we are voting, maybe we are doing favor to some individuals, or we are empowering these people so that they can rise. You are right or wrong, it's something that needs to be proven. But the truth of the matter is that there are mistakes that we do ourselves as a community, and we must not shy away from this thing. You see, sometimes communities must take its time to decide on who must lead them. In many communities, you see, even if they find you being a very good dancer, somewhere, they can just say, you see, this one can be a good dancer, we want him to be our counsellor. It's very wrong. That is the biggest mistake that we do. Sometimes it's important to vote or nominate or elect people with capacity who understand that if I'm a young person who's coming from, let's give example by this jurisdiction of Mpeni. People of Mpeni must never allow themselves to be led by someone who does not understand their challenges. Or they must never allow themselves to be led by someone who doesn't have capacity on what is going to. I want you to imagine a situation where, when we are in the council, people are expected to debate issues there. We need to go there and address issues of unemployment. When we are saying the majority of young people are not employed, you must state it, you must raise it, and you must stand your ground, because you are not representing your jacket, you are representing the constituency that sent you to the municipality. So the problem we are faced here is that you have got people who sometimes sleeps on post. You see, people who sleep at work. When we have delegated Mabasa da Koreambela nge. Machina Mabasa bonela 25 ujene stipend ila chono findi muholo wa makanselara ba ole ba leve dele rushaka lwa sala lukutambu. You need a leader and a passion. And I'm going to say sorry. Now, our people are landless. If we want to play, we are going to discuss what we pass. We check what our space in our Tuashwanga Skavazula on enough. I don't know if you never show Mufana. We must be honest with you. We are faced with triple challenges in this society. The biggest problem in South Africa is affect us in Makado, it affect us in Limpopo, it affect all 9 provinces and South Africa as a whole. We've got triple challenges, and we're not going to run away from this. You see, triple challenges, I'm referring to inequality, poverty, and unemployment. But if you can address this one of unemployment, there is no need for you to complain about inequality and poverty, because you get employment, you have addressed the rest. You see, once once we hire you today, you'll be respected. Poverty, because what you call about the trauma face so we don't have to address a lot of challenges. As a young counsellor, my biggest worry and concern is to say, maybe we must come up with a strategy to create jobs for our people. Yes, we understand that the system of government does not have capacity to can empower all of us. You see, now we are seated here in your podcast.
Yeah.
Let's empower this podcast.
Exactly.
This podcast must hire a lot of young people, so that you must not think of going to the municipality for employment. You must not think of going to the mall for employment. System is going to complement I think that can be very great, man.
And do you have confidence in the programs that have been put in place to this type of issues? With the one you've just mentioned now, empowering the youth in whatever endeavors that they try to.
Allow me to say yes, but they are not enough. And I am not convinced that what we have now at stake, they can handle or address all our challenges. And it is something that I believe that it does not need one person or one man or woman. It needs both of us to come together, to come up with a strategy, and also to engage and invite these ones who are working with me and who are in the strategic position to see we've got a view. Can you see? Sometimes we don't have monopoly of wisdom, because there are people who make mistake going and believe that Mabasa and Counsellor you can be a leader and a very stupid leader. It's very possible. There are many leaders who are very stupid. You see, when people elect you as a stupid, or while you are a stupid, you can still be a stupid leader and what to pretend. But reality, at some point, we need a platform where we are going to engage with stakeholders to empower you and go, this is what we think. Can you go try this and see if this can work? Because you see, these people who are electing us into position, they are more clever than ourselves. The problem in Nanavanandi, once we get elected, we develop some feathers. Now people cannot even access us now. That is the biggest mistake we are doing, and we must never allow that. I think we must change that attitude of not listening to those who sent us.
So now, I don't know, how do we shape the leaders that we are looking for to take us to this promised land that you obviously have foreseen in your journey as a politician? How do we shape them?
There are many ways we can apply. Maybe we must stop sympathizing with the people who doesn't care about our votes or who doesn't care about us. You see, the beautiful thing about our constitution, the democratic constitution, is that we elect you, we nominate you, or we vote for you. It's either we can nominate you through hands or we can vote for you through ballot. If we realize that the leader that we have elected or we have voted is taking us for granted, does not take us serious, or it does not respect us, we must do what Mandela said. You know, when Nelson Mandela was addressing in one of the COSATU conferences in 1995 something, he said you must do to the ANC, he was referring to the ANC, he said people must do to the ANC government what they've done to the apartheid government. If the ANC begins to do or to behave the same way the apartheid system was behaving, I don't want to speak about the ANC, I want to speak about leader now, because your question is about leader. You see, when you put a leader into the position and you realize that this man that we've elected, it doesn't care about us, it doesn't take our vote serious, or it doesn't appreciate, or it's no longer a good message, surprise that leader. When it's time for you to nominate him, do not vote for him, or he will come back and sit home, he will be replaced by others. Then he will learn more sitting at home, you see.
But that's usually what you don't see happening. I don't know, what do you think is the issue with that, where people keep voting for the same person over and over again? They see that we are not getting what we voted for in this person, but they continue to vote for the person.
You know why? I will tell you why this thing. It's more like a cult. You will find that in many areas, voters are regular. They are regular voters. Young people are not participating in that space. But once young people begin to participate into the political space, there's no way you can fool people forever. They will remind you to say, hey chief, last time you said you will give us water, and today there is no water here. What is your response now? So you see, but these elders, our parents are scared. Remember, you and I were the sons of people who have been victimized by the apartheid system. Our parents are condemned, man. They have been destroyed psychologically and physically. That system was very brutal. I read about it. I saw a lot of clips. Abala bathu vo vaisala nga ndela ine vasokupfunga ri zvezvi na ravakazwa ka democracy, it's fine, it's okay. So even when it comes, and they've got blind loyalty. Blind loyalty to an extent that as much as this one is coming through the bench of the organization that I support, that I understand, let's just support you. And the moment you begin to say, let's do it for you just support, just you support for just or for fun, then you are going to create a very big mistake, because the community will suffer for a period of 5 years. Young people are not going to get employment. Learners are not going to, they will not have anybody to speak about them, their bursaries or opportunities for school, because we have submitted ourselves, we have surrendered. You see. But once young people become to be vocal and say, hey, now we decide. And remember, the power is in our hands, young people. Do you know that young people constitute the majority in South Africa? 60% of the population is young people. If young people can come together here, in South Africa and say, we want to decide now, in 18 years, young person can be the president of this country. Who's going to beat us? Because South Africa is a democratic state, and we are speaking about the majority. If majority decide to say, Koongi must lead us now, we are tired of these big ones, you can wake up the president. Unfortunately, we are not organized, we are hungry, we are frustrated, we've got all these other things. Mabasa will come to you carrying 5 t-shirts and say, my man, grab here, and bribe and do all those things. And people who will come and bribe us are these big people. You know why? They've been in government, they've been stealing in government. I'm not speaking about people of the ANC. I'm speaking about all politicians in the country. You see, because they are politicians, they are business people, there are many people in this space of politics. And there are people who believe that people who are very much corrupt, maybe they are from the ANC and other things. It's a wrong mentality, that thing. You must greet my friend when you meet him, Julius. You must greet Mackenzie and many people. You see, today we are complaining. I'm sorry to divert a bit, but we are complaining about corruption that is being practiced by few individuals that we think they are practicing it in the ANC, although it's not proven in the court of law. But we are not saying anything about this white monopoly capitalists who has monopolized the whole country. You see, they've taken the economy of this country. Why is the economy of the country at the hands of minority, not into the hands of majority? There is something wrong with all of us.
Do you think that's what the president is trying to achieve with amending that expropriation bill? And how well do you understand that bill actually? Maybe if you can.
You know, when we speak about land expropriation without compensation, I'm not so sure if it's going to happen or not. But to be honest with you, they were saying those who are saying the land must be transferred back to the rightful owners. Who are the rightful owners of the land? You see, you can't have the majority of the country or the majority of the people living in a small space of land, but the minority occupied 80-something% of land. That's uncalled for. That's very wrong. So remember, if you don't have land, my man, there's no pride there. There's no dignity. Land is our dignity. Land is our pride. You can do farming there. What is the reason for you to go and market for a job if you've got a farm? Instead of dealing with the cabbage there, you see, if you can farm cabbages, then you'll sell cabbages. Even if you've got your own goat, you know you can protect your own livestock at your own farm. You try to do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 when you get broke, or you will sell some meat to the butcheries and others. So we can't do all those things because we don't have land. And there are people who will come to you with a very stupid mentality to say, black people cannot farm. Black people cannot farm. You must go to all these farms. You will find 1 or 2 white people. The majority of people who are working those farms are black people. We can't farm, but we are working in the farm. It doesn't make sense.
Maybe the level of education.
Why don't we educate our people instead of blaming them? What are the ones who are putting the manure? They were the ones who are irrigating those things. You see, what are the ones who are trimming those trees if it's tree? What are the ones who are doing all the milking the cow? Of course, today there are technological machines that we plug into the breast of these cows to milk them. But we've been doing those things for many years.
Now, at your level, actually in the Makadi municipality, I think we spoke about leaders who do not do what they're supposed to do. Do you have any channels in your municipality that evaluates the performance of these councillors that are under the Makadi municipality? How do you make them responsible? How do you make them account for what they are supposed to do or what they have done?
You see, as councillors, remember, we are coming from different political parties. Where I'm working, there are councillors from the EFF, there are councillors from FF+, there are councillors from DA, there's ourselves who are councillors of the ANC. We obviously account to our seniors, to our leaders, because we are speaking about party politics now. I don't know much about this other political party because some of them, they lack consistency. There are so many problems into those parties. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I see from the distance. I also believe that even themselves, when they look to my party, they believe, oh, this party is a problem. But in the ANC where I come from, we do account and we deal with the so-called manifesto. You are expected to deliver according to manifesto. Unfortunately, you know, the party can have a very beautiful policy. And you find that everything is okay. But you find this lazy individual who does not want to follow the party principle or party position or party mandate when he's in the position. So sometimes you find now it's him versus the party in the process battling each other. But where I come from, the party that I serve has got a very beautiful policy. But people are saying to us, we are doing good, but sometimes when it comes to implementation, we fail. But when it comes to the issues of accountability, the councillors, all of us combined, we account to the structure called Coxter. Yeah, that is the body that we all report to, led by one man called Biscope Makam, is an MEC of Coxter. They believe that the level of accountability had to be very high. We need to do things in terms of law. That's why we try our best. It's very rare for you to hear that the councillors X and Y from Makado is arrested because of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because all of us were careful, and especially those who are coming from the ANC. We do attend different workshops where you get the mandate to say, this is how we want you to behave, this is how we want you to conduct yourself as a council or as a leader. Yeah.
The organization you just mentioned, Coxter, did you say Coxter?
Yes.
What is the extent of his power in terms of dealing with the leaders that they overlook?
Now, if Coxter realized that this man or this woman or this young man that we have deployed or who's working here as a councillor is doing things or wrong things or things wrongly, and they've got proof, they've got rights to can even chase you from the council straight away. They've got those powers, they've got those authority. It is the body that represents all of us. It's our employer.
You mentioned that in the municipalities there are different wards which are led by different political parties. Does that mean to say that there is no centralization of mandate or of work that you're supposed to do, of uplifting the communities that you're supposed to serve? Or it's every man for himself, every party for himself?
No, you don't do as you wish.
Yeah.
So, you know, this thing happens everywhere. I want to give you an example because you are the generation that may be still at school or coming from school. You see, not all teachers, principals, HODs behave the same at school. But you can see that these ones with passion, this one you can tell, this one they really want to make sure that they are improving the standard of education at school. And this one that you can tell, this one they are running away from home. This one, they just want to turn around, just to play around and wait for the 20 seconds to arrive, get their money, continue with their problem. So this thing happens almost everywhere. But when it comes to the municipality, we are expected to report to the council, all of us, because councillors sit in the council, and if you want to know exactly what is the role of the council, we are employers there in the municipality. Yeah. All those workers who are working in the municipality, they report to the council, including their bosses. If you consider there's MM, the CFO, and those directors, all of them, they report to us because we are the councillors. Unfortunately, you will find that some mistakes are conducted by ourselves as a councillor, some mistakes are conducted by them as administrators in the system. And when we are dealing with each other, because you see, it involves law now, it involves a lot of things. Not necessarily that we are not disciplining people who are doing things unlawful. If we found you as a council that you are running the municipality in a wrong way or in a corrupt way, and it comes to our attention, we've got a very sober and strong council of Makado municipality. Of course, like any other councils, we do have our own challenges, but when it comes to issues of service delivery, we try by all means to speak to our administrators to say, let's try our best to service our communities. Yes.
And how accessible are those in government to those whom they serve, to the public, to the community? How easily, if I said I had an issue right now, I said, I have a podcast, I have an idea for a podcast, I have one camera, I'm short maybe of two. How accessible are these leaders, these people who are supposed to look after our interest as the people that they serve? How accessible are they to us? Does the Makado municipality have any channels, be it a WhatsApp chat or anything like that, where the public can express their views?
Municipality it's a public institution. It's just some of us. I don't know if it's that how we've been raised or what, but not only that, but let me put my point correctly. I'm a public figure. A municipality is a public institution. There must never be a barrier between myself and the constituency that I'm leading. You must never feel afraid to go to the municipality and inquire or ask or to get information of anything that you want to understand. You must get that information and very free. Remember, the municipality is the municipality because of us. You see, it's like a school to funa chikola, but when you go to the municipality, you want the service delivery. You are not seeking for favor. You want what is yours. You want what is believed. Unfortunately, you see, I don't know where young people learn this thing of being too much apologetic. Even when you want to check or the other way to the councillor, no problem. You go there to the councillor and say, councillor, you don't do that. You must go to the councillor. You must come to me and say, oh, Mabasa, when I'm councillor, why is kunwa mati? You must speak with authority because you are my boss. I'm not necessarily your boss. I'm in the position where I must go and speak on your behalf. Even yourself, you've got right to go to the municipality then and say, Rina Taizorine sa Vasha Baba. I go to you for Maspan. Rina the Royal School owner's qualification. Why are we not getting hired? Unfortunately, young people are not organized when it comes to issues of dealing with issues of national importance. You see, I've seen a lot of young people organizing themselves for the bashes, yourselves, you are always conducting a lot of movies and many, even soccer and many. But it's hard for me to find young people coming together to say, this time around we want to sit with the municipal manager or with the mayor so that we can talk to her. Because the mayor of Makado is she. I've got a mother there called Dorcas Boy. A very beautiful mother. She's a very good mother of mine. Yeah, you see, if you can sit down and talk to her and say, Rene, as young people of Makado, run a problem, can actually is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cover two solution. For implementation. I believe a normal mother who's not suffering from other things will have to understand. Because you see, when you are given responsibility to lead people and to listen to people, you must listen and try by all means to do what they are asking for.
I think when we were speaking earlier, you mentioned having started politics at a very young age. I can speak for myself and many others that I was introduced. This is the closest I have been to politics at my age. You mentioned being in high school and being already active in politics, but I don't think you find that nowadays. I don't think you find organizations, student organizations in public schools, in the communities that we live in. You might find it maybe at university, but then not everyone goes to university. So some people live their whole lives with no political conscience, unaware of how much power they have in their hands, unaware of how to utilize that power to their best advantage. Why do you think there are no such, or why such organizations at a very low level have been discontinued?
Many people hate politics because they don't know what politics is. And many people, they don't understand politics. In fact, let me tell you that many people don't like politics because they don't know the influence of political power. There is nothing you can do in this world, or there is nothing powerful beside prayer. I'm coming from the background of, from the religious background. I do not compare politics with the power of prayer. I know prayer is very powerful, religiously so. But you see, politics, it's life. I want to give you an example now. For this road to be tarred, you need a political intervention. For schools to be built here, you need political intervention. For our people to have water, we're not speaking about you drilling water in our own yard. We're speaking about for our people to have water, electricity, and basic service. You need this political intervention. So we can't do away with politics. But coming back to your question, why are we not seeing these structures here? Even during my time when I was a learner, it was difficult for me to see the structure. I was fortunate to find myself in a space where when I see things, I always go closer to understand. That's why when I was a learner here at OZS Davan, I joined politics and I happened to be the president of COSAS just here at my school. OZS Davan, yeah. That's where I was schooling. I'm a product of Chimonela Primary School. There was no political activity there. Our teachers did not introduce that. If it was there, they tried by all means to hide it of politics. But when I go to OZS Davana, because I was participating into many things, I found myself participating into COSAS. When I go to college, that's why I was very much vocal, because I happened to be, I did not brief you about my credentials, that I'm a former regional leader of COSAS. I'm a former provincial chairperson, provincial secretary of SASCO in Limpopo. A former regional chairperson of SASCO. I led in the ANC Youth League into the regional level. Today, seated with you here, I'm the chairperson of the African National Congress in this ward, which is Ward 15, known as Rwanda. Because I always want to see, nature doesn't allow vacuum. Whenever we see opportunity, we grab it with two hands, we move with it. But the reason why I chose to be a politician, I realized that the majority of our people need someone who can speak for them, who can lead them. Because, even during the biblical time, not all the Israel and the Jews were able to speak for themselves. God was able to identify his own people or his own person to lead. You know the story of Moses and his brother. You see, Moses was very powerful, but he was unable to speak because he had some challenges. Then God identified Aaron to say he will speak on your behalf and on behalf of the Israel. So this thing had always been there. Even in South Africa, when the struggle was very tough, when our grandfathers and the grandmothers were hiding under the bridges or were trying to speak, there was Nelson Mandela who stood up and speak for our people. There was Peter Mukawa who stood up and speak for our people. There's Chris Hahn who stood up and fight for our people. They even went to the bush and trained each other to say we must confront. So, you see, every generation must be able to identify a leader who can speak for themselves. In fact, we must identify our mission. We come together, we find the best way to deal or to address our challenges, because the generation when I'm going to in a matada asafani generation yamra. You see, ela generation ya chipisa mataila chipisa school chikwashikana chimwana chimoro suite aichava yashu. Our generation start from the boardroom. When we realize that this one that we are seated with here in the boardroom does not listen, then we take our battle to the street. There's nothing wrong. It is the nature of the struggle. You can't massage the problem or the enemy unless you want to die a peaceful death. Then you will submit and surrender yourself to the enemy. Then go to encourage young people and the one about to offer. We are the current and we are the future, and the future is now. Arituva apologetic mutrichambanga mapungo avranga panda kana uono rusoko chimbira zone, because you see rodova generation ya vana na vafumakazi vana vasho vachirisedza vatorobebonga miwalo because rodova risingokona ita chitu rodova risingokona va prepare the future zavo. So we need to stand up. We need to.
I'm assuming that you've been in office for quite a while, and just merely being a politician, you've been a politician for quite a while. What is your long-term vision? What would you like to see happening?
Okay, let me tell you what I want to see here. I would like to start here where we come from, at Mpei. You see, we are not very far from the town called Elim. It's just a walking distance. I want this place to look like Senten. Avo petu ungakona uvona sa Senten ngauri hapo ne avana madhaka hapo. Ufano change ove na dzi factories. A lot of factories that create jobs for our people. Ove na dzi bada, a third road. Ove na zvikoro zvavhuḓi zvine zvava a quality school. Rina zvibhadhlela a very big hospital like Elim Hospital. As much as we've got a very big historic hospital, why are we not having like a school chine chakono producer manese vavana na vafumakazi vana tokono shuma katlas badela? We want this place to be a well developed place. Let me tell you my dream and my wish, and this is the honest fact. I want in my lifetime, I want a situation where you will be driving your own jeep, seated with your dog at the front seat while it's raining. Mukuono shuma carbon, a white man with skin or shuma carbon. Ozulanga pamrawa backing up. Ati vati kurela jeep ya vati kumpelekeza ya no otsa bus stop. You see, rekoto dore kazi private apa kazi private schools. Na dzipambiri zvikolo kuve na equality ngailandira ine arali ukofuna mwana wa Mabasa onofibongani integrity Mabasa ukopaka sobo school ngapa murawa ava kuteveliwa nga mwana onofi Roen van Tonder wa mkhuwa ane nene vokopaka vosobo zikoyelana ngokuti vokofolwa line kuitwa zofana. I want a society in a society yakoroshuma. I want a situation where your kitchen lady mfumakadzi unokovabikira zviḽiwa kishini hapala naenevo ndi muchena noti ngori utsuka obebiwa muchena na vabebiwa ndi vachena. I'm not trying to be racist, manje kotodo ambori we need to correct the historical mistake and try to put things in a better way nga nḓila ine vhutshilo vhu vhofana havha vhe vha ita uri ni ri pfhe vhuṱungu vha kona u pfha uri khou pfha mini zwi tshi khou experiencewa ngavho. You see, we want that life, ndi yone life ina ri khou ṱoḓa yone. Ne ri khou ṱoḓa u vhona vhana vha arali khou pfhi tshiḓampa tshi healthy tshi khou ḽiwa zwavhuḓi ne ri tshi ya fhaḽa war school na ri ya school ati ri vhona hanefhaḽa khou phakwa tshiḓampa o foliwa dzi line vhana vha tshi khou ḓiphina u fana vhana vhashu zwine vha khou ḓiphinisa zwone hafha tshimonela na mulweli na muthu a dini. Zwi amba uri that will be a fair life. Ri khou ṱoḓa life ine a i na magage, but most importantly ri khou ṱoḓa uri hu vhe na nndwa ine ra ilwa ine vhane vha khou konḓeliwa ri kone u vha thusa. We are living with people, or there are people who are living with disability. Those people must not only rely on grant. Ri fanela u vha na a caring society ine ya kona u zwi pfesesa uri rine ri a kona u ṱhogomelana nga tshashu. I also want to speak about the issue of crime, because this is something that I want us to achieve. Ri khou ṱoḓa situation ri a kona u eḓela ro vula mafasiṱere ra tou vala ngo shavha munyunyu ri sa khou shavha uri na muthu ono swika tou dzhena dzinḓuni dzashu a swika a tswa kana binya vhana. We want a crime free society. You see, that is what I want us to achieve in our lifetime, because we need to be totally free in our approach and kha zwiṅwe na zwiṅwe ra khou shuma nazwo. Vhathu vhoṱhe vha tshi swika vha vuwa nga matsheloni hu sina muthu ono lila uri u ḓo ḽa mini u ḓo nwa mini, ngauri ra vha ri na dzi feme nnzhi na mishumo minzhi ine vhathu vha kona u vha khou i shuma in our own jurisdiction. Tsha ndo fhedzisela nga maanḓa, I want to live in a community where murangaphanḓa a si ene ono dzula a tshi ḓo vhudza vhathu uri zwi fanela u tshimbilisa hani. Murangaphanḓa u tou vhudziwa nga vhathu. Murangaphanḓa this time ra ri khou ṱoḓa uri zwithu ni tshi rangaphanḓa ni ṱoḓa uri tshimbidzela zwithu nga nḓila ya XYZ zwa vhuya zwi khou tou tshimbiliwa nga u tou ralo. I think that is the society that we want, unlike this society where leaders speak and all of us will follow, we believe it's right, because leaders, they don't have monopoly of wisdom. Mudzimu ango sika muthu kana vhathu uri vha tou pfha muthu muthihi u pfuweni. And lastly, we also want a situation where, you see, when we've got churches around our jurisdiction and our area. I don't want to speak much about churches, but there's a very good church of mine. I used to engage Pastor Lawrence here. Yeah, one role in our kuitamba sometimes in society in terms of empowerment and other things. We need many pastors of his caliber. Whenever we kutamba role ine vava ku empower vhathu. Unlike to have 1,000 pastors in the community where these pastors, they are very good at collecting for themselves, with no empower vhathu. I'm raising this as a young counselor because I was made to believe that all them churches, you see, there are many people who are educated today. You know that what is school mean? That's gerek. So gerek does, you know, as share to it's something that I want to change. That a good leader will be able to sit with these religious leaders to say, guys, are you really reading this Bible from Genesis to the last one, or you are starting there to this kind of vision now? That is what I want to say. But in a nutshell, we got peace in our own jurisdiction, in our own province, in our own district, in our own country. That is what I want as a young counsellor. The believe a color of peace and stability where we live in.
Now, there's a young person sitting here, sitting right now, watching this, and they're feeling very frustrated. They want to do something, they want to be active, but they don't know where to start. They think of joining a political party, but there are so many, and they are not sure which one to choose. They have lost confidence maybe in the older political parties. They don't know which route to take. What can you say to that person?
My advice to them is that when you decide or when you make your choice, there are choices and there are best choices. You see, sometimes you need to check today, you check tomorrow. When you take decision, you don't have to look for now. And it's important to refer back what happened. Or what is it that we have achieved? Because but vanje vakono blame, avakoni udana the ideas that would. But in terms of choice, I remember I am from the African National Congress, and it will be very difficult for me to encourage young people to join any other political party that I did not join. So allow me to skip that one. The Vasovana route, you shimsa thoughts I would decide. Or Arabic would decide the Mabasa, ANC, because I believe the ANC remain the most relevant political party today in the country, even yesterday. Yes, there are so many challenges that we have caused and the pains that we have caused to our people as the African National Congress. But we remain relevant because we are consistent compared to this other one. You want me to remind you that Shivambu and MK, they were dancing last week. They were dancing together now. The other one is on marathon. EFF and Lucy. They were dancing together. Things were very beautiful. They were darling of the masses. Even when the CIC want water, those will be the first one coming with water. CIC drink water. Now Lucy has been changed away. You cannot trust him again anymore. So there are so many frustrations into these other political parties. I don't want to speak about DA. DA is a racist party. It's a racist party, and anything that comes with racism to me sound devilish, satanic. To me, it's more like apartheid. The new version of apartheid system. So I don't have problem with the DA. DA is a problem on itself. DA is a problem, so it's not something that I can encourage our people to go for. You're undermining you again. Yeah. So people must just go for the ANC if they want me to advise them. But I don't go to advise young. Yeah.
Speaking of Ndlozi, he said he was leaving party politics to do politics. He made a sort of a distinguished sort of, said he was drawing a line. He was no longer doing party politics. He's going to do the real politics. Are party politics not the real politics?
Yeah, that is the statement you will get from the frustrated man. The young man is very intelligent, but Majuju, Mshavi, has frustrated those boys. They don't know whether they are coming or going. So they will move around. Even if, you see, an intelligent man, you see, when you are wise and intelligent, and you find yourself being frustrated, you sound like a mad person. So those boys, they will never speak sense until they heal. Yeah, they are still suffering from Mushavi syndrome. Maju just dealt with them very bad, and they are paralyzed. And I'm sorry for that, because I do not want to speak about other people's politics, Yeah.
I don't know, maybe the Hova Rengisa. Mara, you said politicians or leaders or yourself as a councillor should be accessible to the people to whom they serve. There's someone who has a problem right now, or they have some views to express, or maybe they want some direction or some advice. They think Mabasa is the right person to direct me. How do they contact you? How do they find you?
Mabasa all the time on Facebook. When it comes to the issue of contact, I will leave my contact on the studio for security reasons. I don't want to read my contact here on air, because South Africans are capable. I don't want to find myself being exposed to fraud things and other things, because you see, this thing of unemployment, it has created a lot of underground employees who are working rooms and beds. So allow me not to share my contact, because if I can share them now here on air, they can work overtime and even work against me sometime. Yeah.
I know. Well, I think we've had a very good conversation. We just want to appreciate you taking time out of your busy day. I know you must be very busy, a lot of things to do, a lot of people to respond to, a lot of people. I saw you were getting calls non-stop here.
Yes.
So yeah, I think this is where we end. Thank you very much.
Ndolibonga Amanda.